Is this thing on? Yeah, it's on. Alright. Listen. I can only stand this close to the mic, or to the camera. But you didn't know I was carrying the Tally Ho 15. Fuck. This is the Ruger ec9. It's empty. I'm gonna be reviewing this shit today because, first of all, I'm sick of people reviewing shit just sitting in their fucking in their fucking room, just basically just unboxing the fucking thing. Also, my camera's a little dirty. There's a severe lack of sane left-wing and gun people. Gun tubers. I fucking hate that word. I hate the word gun tubers. There's people shooting around me. They're shooting at me. I'm so bad at this. You might notice the slide is brown. That's because I spray painted it because the fucking slide started to rust. Also, the grip is this purple color. I dyed it. I dyed it using clothing dye. You know, you just put it in a pot, heat that shit up, and throw just the frame in there. I cannot stress this enough. That is why it started to fucking rust on me, is because I threw the whole thing in there and the frame started to rust. So yeah. Alright. So a few quick things about the Ruger ec9. I wonder if other people can hear me out here. I've never had it jam on me. I fired I think way more rounds than I think through it. I want to say like 300, 400 rounds through it, but I think I fired more than that. Whatever. Essentially, you will be trading shootability for concealability, and goddamn does this thing conceal. Honestly, sometimes I just throw it in my pocket, which is actually why I use it as one of my home defense guns. So I use two home defense guns. I'll have some fucking long gun with like a light and shit on it, and then I'll use the Ruger ec9. It comes with this magazine. This is the normal one, right? It extends the grip a little. Pretty nice. And this only holds 7 rounds, and then it comes with this extended magazine. This holds 9 rounds, and it makes the grip just a little bigger. I honestly prefer this one much more because it's still fucking, you still put it in your pocket pretty easily. You know, if you look at this shit, I won't use the jacket, that's cheating, but if I just throw this shit in here, it's fucking, I don't know if you can even see that. It's in my pocket. That's all you have to know. Look at this. It's in my pocket. Okay. This thing in my pocket. And that's actually why it is one of my home defense guns. So basically what I'll do is, if I hear some bullshit going on that night, right, I'll grab this fucking thing, throw it in my pocket, grab a flashlight. We'll pretend I'm fucking looking at stuff. Right, I'll go out, check out what the fuck's happening, and I hear some bullshit. If I see some bullshit, right, imagine I'm out here, I go out to my front yard because my dogs are barking, and then I'm like, oh fuck, that's a Wendigo. Problem solved. That was fun. I like shooting this thing. I've never had it malfunction on me. Here, it's empty. I've never had it malfunction on me. Or at least not have a mechanical. I've never had a mechanical malfunction, but I have had user-induced malfunctions because I've fucking nudged this fucking thing while firing it on accident. So that's just something to keep in mind. Also, guys, when it comes to self-defense in general, anything self-defense related, always remember, listen, people, they'll try to show you like all these different techniques on how to fire a gun. They'll be like, do this, right, get in a fighting stance, shoot at the fucking thing. Let me tell you something. I box. I'm a boxer. I'm used to my flight or fight responses being through the roof all the fucking time. I'm sure maybe some of you are, some of you aren't. But understand that whoever remembers to breathe and stay relaxed, okay? Remember to breathe and stay relaxed. That is the reason we do all this shit. You know, this whole thing of pushing your elbows out, grabbing it with two hands as hard as you can. We do that because people don't know how to relax. Okay? Relax and breathe. I'll even do some dry firing. Now the way that this gun does have a magazine safety, so here I'll show you. I can't pull the trigger like this. It also has a actual safety. It's kind of pointless, but if you want to I would always say to carry with the chamber loaded. If using the safety with with one in the chamber is what works for you, then great, carry it like that. But otherwise, I don't really need it. But yeah, it does have a magazine lock, a magazine safety. So now that the mag's in, I can actually pull the trigger. Now, in order to dry fire with this thing, with a regular magazine, it does come with a dummy magazine so you can pull the trigger, just so you could disassemble it. But, you know, I didn't bring that, obviously. But if you do want to dry fire it, you can actually reset the trigger by just racking it a tiny bit. Also, the trigger, it's smooth, but a little heavy. Personally, I like heavy triggers. Now, if you're someone who's new to guns, I'll tell you, someone like me can appreciate how fucking hard it is to actually shoot this thing properly. Because it's so small. Here's a general rule of thumb. The smaller a gun is, the harder it is to use. And when it comes to any form of self-defense, in terms of guns, you always want to use the biggest gun you can get away with. And my favorite part about something this small is you can always get away with it. So if you are new to guns and you end up buying a tiny pistol like this is actually the only semi-automatic pistol I own right now. It's also the first one I've ever gotten. So I had a hell of a time fucking learning how to shoot it. But essentially, what it comes down to is making sure your sights are lined up properly, evenly, right? I find that holding it further away from me, actually, you can actually tell if you're drifting to the side or up or down easier if the further away you hold it from yourself, if that makes sense. Yeah, these are just tips, just a few tips to show you how to fucking actually shoot this thing. If you're brand new to shooting, I like to hold it as far away as possible, that way I can tell when the sights, when the front sight's too far left, too far right. It's very easy to accidentally drift too far to the left or too far to the right. I'm not sure if you can see it, but because the gun is so small, you know, this is too far left, that's too far right, that's too far up, that's too far down, you know. I don't know if I lined that up properly. It's also getting dark. But again, the reason people suck at shooting handguns, for the most part, is because they're not relaxed. Relax and breathe, right? Again, I like to dry fire it just to actually get a feel for it, because a lot of people, they do this. They do this. Right? They pull it down. What you want to do, I accidentally pulled it too much. What you want to do is this. You see that? Relax. Eventually you'll learn to only flex the muscles you need to lift the gun up here and to pull the trigger. Even then, right? Even then, if you're not moving really when you're pulling the trigger, there are times where, because the gun is so small, you pulling the trigger can actually move it to the side. So let me show you. You have to learn what part of your finger you like to pull the trigger with as well. So if I use like this part of my finger, you see every time I pull the trigger, it moves. If I use the very tip of my finger, it moves the opposite way every time I pull the trigger. I like to use this little nudge here in between the tip and the middle section, I guess, and that way I can pull it without it veering to the side. You know, now I'm just gonna shoot that shit. I'm gonna practice my draw. Let's tell you guys something. So I like to carry it like this. I have this little holster. I just shove it here. As for the clip, I don't know if you guys can see. What can this thing fucking see? Alright, I think you can see better there. As for the clip, right? Sometimes if I have an undershirt, I always wear an undershirt. This is my undershirt today. I didn't decide to put an overshirt on, but I will actually just tuck my undershirt in. I'll tuck in from like this middle section instead of the tip. Like if you tuck in the tip, you can clearly see it's tucked in here, but if you tuck it in from like the middle here, no one can tell. And you can always lift your arms. Oh fuck. Fuck, I think the shirt might be too small for this, but I'll tuck it in like that. That way you can still see the end of the shirt, and you can't see it, except for there. I think this shirt's too small for me. Oh well, it's getting kind of dark. We'll use my phone. I probably shouldn't be using my phone. We're gonna practice pulling out our cock. Wait. There's a flashlight. That way you can see me better. Yeah, if you want to go shoot this, if you want to shoot something this small properly, got stuck, my bad. As for the actual form of how to shoot a handgun this small, put both your fucking hands together like this and push forward. Your elbows, you're gonna want them to be kind of sideways, because if you have it like this, right, when the gun fires, your elbow's gonna go up. You have it like, if you have it more to the side, when the gun fires, your elbow's gonna bend sideways. And do some sort of fighting stance. Again, I'm a boxer. I'll just do my boxing stance if I really need to, but I'm fucking strong enough that I really don't have to do that shit. And as for the draw, I like to do it the way Paul Harrell taught us. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Alright? Eventually, you do that faster and faster. You'll be fucking... You do that shit like it's nothing. It'll be muscle memory. Alright. So I'll be like, holy fuck. It's a Navy SEAL trying to sodomize me. I love how warm the barrel gets. Alright, now I'm just gonna fucking shoot this thing. I'll put a few more mags to it. I think someone left like a bottle way the fuck up there. It looks like, I think that's like, I want to say 50 meters away. Because I know the top of that hill is 60 meters. Or yards, same shit. But if you get really good at aiming this thing, you can hit some targets, some pretty ridiculously small targets from pretty far away. You can also kind of incorporate that accuracy shooting you're doing into speed, right? That's the main thing we want here. Someone's fucking with you, right? I never practice like doing this shit and then pulling my gun out and shooting them, just because again, I box, I know how to wrestle. No one's ever doing that shit to me. If anyone is that close to me, they're in more danger than I am. And you should also probably learn, I would say learn the footwork of boxing, learn how to jab, and learn how to sprawl in wrestling. I would say that's the most useful. Those are the most useful moves you can use in a street fight. Maybe body slam too. Learn the takedown. Alright. So I think someone left a bottle up there. I'm gonna see if I can hit it. Yeah, I don't know. That's like 50, I think. I don't know if I can. I don't think I can even see the bottle from here. Can you guys see it? Also, this is a good technique for shooting with a flashlight. If your handgun cannot have a flashlight attached to it, I actually prefer this, because that way at night, like I said, if I'm checking shit out, I'm not pointing my gun at everything. Yeah, who would have thunk? I can't fucking hit the target I can't see. Oh well, I'll do one last match, and then I'll actually get to training. Here, we'll just do 5 this time. We'll shoot at this box here. Pretend it's a Jehovah's Witness. Yeah, I'm fucked. I'm cooked. Anyone sees this video? Any of my employers see this video? I'm done. It is so over for me. Here, I'll leave the light on so you guys can see my beautiful gun handling. Alright. Neat little gun. One thing I will say, one finishing statement I will make about it, is that I think the front sight is fucking taller than the rear sight is. Than the rear sights. So that's another thing to keep in mind. You know, when I line up the bottom of the sights here, when I actually line up the bottom of the sights together, I can see the front sight is sticking out slightly more. I have no clue if I can show this to the camera somehow. Yeah, it's getting too dark. Whatever. But yeah, and I noticed I always line up the top of the sights. I noticed this gun always shoots low no matter what. It's always shooting low. It's always consistently shooting low. No, it's not me, because I tried my girlfriend's handgun, which is a Beretta APX A1 carry, almost the same exact fucking thing as this thing, and that gun does not have that issue. I line up the sights and it shoots. I line up the top of the sights, it shoots where I'm aiming. This one, so just that's another thing to keep in mind. If you line up the sights, do a 12 o'clock hold. This thing really likes a 12 o'clock hold. Maybe I'll see if I can show you. Not really. Alright. It's getting dark out here. See ya.